Joe Biden's furious CPTPP rant exposed, it puts China in driver's seat. Joe Biden claimed that, when the US backed out of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, TPP, China was allowed to get into the driver's seat and write the rules of trade. The TPP was the centerpiece of President Barack Obama's strategic pivot to Asia. Before President Donald Trump withdrew the United States in 2017, on his third day in office, the TPP was set to become the world's largest free trade deal, covering 40% of the global economy. For its supporters, such a deal would have expanded U.S. trade and investment abroad, spurred economic growth, lowered consumer prices, and created new jobs, while also advancing U.S. strategic interests in the Asia-Pacific region. However, its critics, including Mr. Trump, saw the deal as likely to accelerate U.S. decline in manufacturing, lower wages, and increase inequality. With the US on the sidelines, the remaining TPP countries forged ahead with a new version of the pact, known as the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership (CPTPP), keeping most of the original intact. Mr. Trump suggested in early 2018 that he would be willing to re-enter TPP discussions under certain conditions, but he quickly backtracked. Many believe that now US President Joe Biden has moved into the Oval Office, the US could soon rejoin. When asked about it in 2019, Mr. Biden criticized Mr. Trump's decision to withdraw, as he argued that by doing so, he allowed China to get into the driver's seat. He said, "When it comes to trade, either we're going to write the rules of the road for the world or China is, and not in a way that advances our values. That's what happened when we backed out of TPP, we put China in the driver's seat. That's not good for our national security or for our workers." TPP wasn't perfect, but the idea behind it was a good one: to unite countries around high standards for workers, the environment, intellectual property, and transparency, and use our collective weight to curb China's excesses. He then added, "Going forward, my focus will be on rallying our friends in both Asia and Europe, in setting the rules of the road for the 21st century, and joining us to get tough on China and its trade and technology abuses." That's much more effective than President Trump's so-called America First approach that in practice is America alone, alienating our allies and undermining the power of our collective leverage. "My trade policy will also start at home, by investing in strengthening our greatest asset, our middle class. I would not sign any new trade deal until we have made major investments in our workers and infrastructure. Nor would I sign a deal that does not include representatives for labor and the environment at the negotiating table and strong protections for our workers." In an exclusive interview with Express.co.uk, Jonathan Aronson, a trade expert and professor in the Department of Political Science and International Relations at USC Dornsife, echoed Mr. Biden's claims, as he also believes it was a terrible mistake for Mr. Trump to withdraw from the trade partnership. Professor Aronson argued that, by joining the TPP, the US president could have arguably taken on China's unfair trade practices and secure America's economic role in Asia. He said, "I was a big supporter of the TPP. Trump pulled out, and it was a terrible mistake because it empowered China. It also took away a lot of incentive for Vietnam to behave."